Hello, beautiful humans. I'm Tisse, and this is your Monday Mojo, your source for energetic alignment with the mojo that is your power, your freedom, and your most delicious life. So let's get to it. First of all, our check-in. Take a moment, take a deep breath. In through the nose, out through the mouth, and just notice what's present in your body. Notice what feelings are within you. What sensations do you notice? Just really take a moment to check in with what needs might be asking for your attention right now. Is it my need for connection? For play? Maybe for ease? And all there is to do in this moment is notice. And I encourage you to say to yourself, I see you, I hear you, you matter to me, and today I am going to do my very best to take care of you. Sometimes just taking a moment to acknowledge, to check in, to give ourselves a little bit of affirmation makes all the difference in the rest of our day. Okay, so let's get to this. As social interconnected beings, the quality of our lives is made up by the quality of our relationships. And today, I want to talk about the stress and tension in our lives that comes from not having boundaries in our relationships or not following through with them. When we don't have clear boundaries, it may be really difficult to identify our own needs, our own wants, our own limitations, which then leads to feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and certainly resentful. Additionally, without boundaries, we may have trouble asserting ourselves or just simply standing up for our own needs. And this sometimes then creates a power imbalance in a relationship. And it can result with a person feeling like they're giving too much while the other person is taking too much. And again, this brings us back to resentment. This resentment that builds and builds and builds and ultimately damages our relationships. So let's begin by really just defining what it is that I mean when I say boundary. So a boundary is a personal guideline or rule that defines how you interact with others and how you protect and care for yourself emotionally, mentally, and physically. So setting boundaries is an important aspect of self-care, and it's what's going to help us to maintain healthy relationships and, my favorite part, a sense of personal agency. Now, a common misunderstanding when it comes to boundaries is that they are rules that control the way other people treat you. Setting boundaries is not about demanding others to change their behavior. It's not about dictating how the world should treat you and then sitting back and expecting compliance. So here's an example of someone who does not understand what it means to have a boundary. So let's say that there are two people, Alex and Sam, and they've been dealing with some heated conflicts in their relationship. And Alex notices you know what? This whole yelling thing is really not working for me. So Alex says, okay, I'm going to set a boundary, and goes to Sam and says, hey, I'm setting a boundary here. I will not tolerate us having conversations with yelling. Okay, so Alex communicates this. A little time goes by and then a conflict pops up, and once again, Sam starts yelling. And now Alex gets angry, outraged, and offended and says, hey, you're not supposed to cross my boundary. This is not a boundary. Many people make the mistake of noticing a cross boundary and then pointing the finger at the other person and they demand they change their behavior. And in situations where that happens and they're seeing it's not working, the other person is still crossing that boundary, what happens is they conclude that, boundaries just don't work. Well, that's because that's not a boundary. Boundaries are not actually for other people to know how to act. They're for you. And there's 3 aspects of it. They're for you to know clearly what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. 2, they're for you to know what it is to express and communicate to those around you about what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. And 3, they're about knowing how to respond in a situation where someone isn't willing or able to honor your boundary. So, real boundary setting starts and ends with you. It involves identifying your needs and expressing them clearly, ideally before there's an opportunity for that boundary to get crossed. So it's not about telling someone how to treat you and expecting them to just do it, but rather it's about knowing yourself and being willing to be your own advocate and making sure that you're not sticking around in situations that don't honor your needs. Notice this. Holding your boundaries means being willing to walk away or take care of yourself in some way when your needs are not being met. We are responsible for getting our own needs met. And we cannot slide into victimhood if others aren't willing or able to help us get those needs met. So let's go back to this situation with Alex and Sam. And if I were to rewrite the way Alex communicated their boundary, it might sound a little more like this. It'd be like, hey, Sam, so I'm needing us to be able to talk without yelling at each other. And I understand if you aren't willing or able to do that when you're upset. But if you aren't, I will not continue talking with you in that moment. And I'm going to walk away so I can take some space until we are able to talk without yelling again. We must be willing to walk away from situations that don't serve us. And this is how we truly demonstrate to the world, to everybody around us, the type of treatment we accept. Now, there are so many benefits to having and practicing effective boundaries in our relationships. So here are just 3. First of all, increased self-awareness. So establishing our boundaries requires us to really reflect on what is it that I want? What is it that I'm needing? What reactions are popping up from within me in these different situations? And this process can really, really help you increase your self-awareness and help you understand your values and your priorities. Another benefit is improved communication. When you have clear boundaries, you are better able to communicate your needs and expectations to everyone around you. And this can lead to more open and honest communication in your relationships. Thirdly, and this one's my favorite, is the increased empowerment. So when we practice healthy boundaries, it can help you feel more in control of your life and your relationships. When you know your limits and you're able to enforce them, you can feel more empowered and confident in your interactions with others. You feel really free and open and able to engage because you know no matter what, you've got your back. All right, so now let's move into a little soul streaming. Again, soul streaming is a little activity that I like to take on that utilizes my imagination and the power of my memories in order to connect with or align with a particular type of emotional energy. And the way that I do this is I start off by just asking myself, where have I felt this before and can I describe it? And then I go about describing it. So today, I thought, with this idea of boundaries, the energy that I really am hoping to achieve, that emotion that I'm hoping to achieve is a sense of easeful connection. Just feeling like that it's easy and that I'm connected with somebody else. So let's dive into it. And I'm just going to start by closing my eyes. And feel free to close your eyes with me or not. That's fine, but I really hope you join me in the emotional journey of it. So here we go. Okay, so where have I experienced this sense of easeful connection before? Can I tap into that? Can I tap into moments where I've been with others And I know that I can take care of myself because I know my preferences. I know what I'm needing and what I'm wanting. I'm knowing what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with. And as I engage with the people around me, I'm able to clearly express that. And I feel like I've given myself the authority, the permission, and the validation to communicate that with them. So when I have done that, oh man, like the first thing that pops up is just like freedom. And like this freedom feels like expansiveness, like I have room to play. I have like it's safety. I have the safety I need to fully engage. I have the safety I need to play freely without worry. Because I know that I can trust the sensations that are popping up, the feelings, the intuition, the messages that I'm receiving in each and every moment. I can trust them moment to moment. I know, like, if this feels good and then this feels good, I can trust that if there's a moment that pops up that starts not feeling good, that I have the ability to speak up for myself. I have the ability to remove myself or walk away from a situation. And just knowing that I am fully safe because I can care for myself in that way allows me to show up more fully, allows me to show up more freely, like getting to enjoy in that deliciousness of diving in, of being open, of sharing my vulnerability, my ideas, my spontaneity, my playfulness, without worrying what's going to happen next. And that's so delightful to get to engage with others from that energy, because it allows me to get curious about who they are, what they care about, and what they're up to. My compassion shows up front and center. I can show up compassionately because I know I am cared for. And I also know that, like, that compassion doesn't mean that I have to meet any of their needs. It means that I can have understanding and care for wherever they're at today. And I could bring a little bit of my joy and playfulness to their day and kind of like invite that back and see if they're wanting that. That connection, easeful connection, just feels like this back and forth little, oh man, it's a ping pong ball game. It's a little ping pong ball. It's just like light and casual, and we're having fun, and the paddle feels good in my hand, and we're just like playing back and forth. It's just fun. And there's not much to it. There's no heaviness around it. Wow. Like, I'm just noticing just how much that safety, that aspect of safety, is covered when I am able to clearly express what's important to me, what I want, what I don't want, and saying, hey, like, here's how I would like to play, or here's what I'm wanting to play at, and if you don't want to play, that's okay, but if you don't want to play this game, I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to find somebody else who does want to play this game, and that's okay. I won't be mad at you for not wanting to play this game with me. I'm curious what game you want to play. Maybe it matches up, or maybe you're going to offer me something that sounds even more exciting, like something that I want to play. And so in this sense, like, I can just show up with that openness again. That energy just feels so cyclical. It comes back to the safety and the freedom and the playfulness and the curiosity and the compassion and the freedom and the safety and the openness. It just kind of makes all of those stops. And I'm going to check in and like, where is that in my body? I notice the openness. I notice like having like energy in my hands, like energy to do things with. I notice like this like slight leaning forward of my head as I lean in to somebody else, as I lean into life with curiosity and with eagerness. And I'm getting this sense of like, that's what I came for. That's what I came. I came to play. I came to engage. I came to know that I am good. I have the ability to care for myself through communicating, through attending to my needs, for not making myself small, for really allowing myself to take up space. Let's take a deep breath in together and out slowly through the mouth. If you close your eyes with me, feel free to open them back up again. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed taking that journey with me. Now, if you enjoyed this time together, I really would like to invite you to check out the How of Happy program, which is the in-depth and interactive version of this work that I shared with you today. So to find out more, please visit howofhappy.com or text the word happy to the number 518-328-4773, and I'll send you the Zoom link so you can check it out this week for free. Thank you so much for joining me this morning to get your mojo on. I hope you enjoyed it. And now, as you dive back into the wilderness that is your week, I really hope you connect to the source of your feelings, the preciousness of your presence, and your role as creator of your life experience. I love you. Have fun out there, and I'll see you next week.